section of elders from Abagusi and Kikuyu's Kiama have committed to work with the incoming government of President-elect William Ruto. Speaking separately in Kiambu and Kisii, the elders congratulated Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua for their victory, even as they thanked the outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta for upholding the constitution and facilitating a smooth transition.
A section of Kikuyu elders under Kiama has congratulated President-elect William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua for their victory in the election and committed themselves to work with the incoming government. Speaking at their shrine in Kiambu, the elders, led by Secretary General Engineer Moiro Kamuguna, also praised the outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta for upholding the constitution in ensuring a smooth handover of power.
We urge all Kenyans, and particularly our Mount Kenya compatriots and region, to rally behind and support His Excellency Dr. Samoei Ruto's government so as to achieve his vision for Kenyans and our people.
The elders urged Kenyans to support the incoming administration led by William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, saying despite differences in political stand, Kenyans should remain united.
Tumekutana hapa kumshukuru Mungu sababu ya uchaguzi uliokuwa na amani ambao ulituwezesha kupata rais wa 5 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Daktari William Samoei Arap Ruto, na makamu wake Rigathi Gachagua ambao watatuongoza kwa hatamu ijayo.
Similar calls for unity were made in Kisii by elders of the Abagusi Culture and Development Council. The elders said their resolution to work with the incoming government of William Ruto was informed by the need for realization of faster development for the local community.
Wale watumishi wa serikali wanafanyia wananchi kazi, wao tunawaheshimu. Awe assistant chief, awe MCA, awe mjumbe, awe county commissioner, awe raisi, awe ministers. Watu wote watumishi wa serikali tunawaunga mkono, tena tunawasaidia vile inawezekana, kwa sababu ni watu wa Kenya wanafanyia kazi.
The elders defended their recent visit to William Ruto's official residence, which has since elicited an outburst from their critics in Kisii.
Policy yetu, sera zetu ni kusupport, ni kuunga mkono serikali ambao iko kwa mamlaka.
Geoffrey Munga, Lunchtime News.
East Africa Portland Cement Company is seeking to raise 45 billion shillings to settle its outstanding loans and revamp the Athi River plant. The company says the revamp will see squatters on its land relocated. The cement producing company aims at selling off 709 acres of land to squatters and general public by December 2022. The management at the East Africa Portland Cement Company says the process of reselling a portion of its land in Athi River will see those residing on it as squatters pay an administrative fee for a 3-year period.
Wananchi wametusukuma, viongozi wametusukuma, na mwishowe tukasema vile Kagombe anasema hii shamba wananchi kama wamekalia, they need to be supported to be the legal owners of the land.
Ningeomba tusijanganye maneno. Tukienda kwa laini moja, tuende laini moja mpaka mwisho na tumalize tukiwa kitu moja.
In a meeting with the squatters, the cement producing company's management urged the squatters to stop politicking the land issue and now focus on procedurally acquiring the parcels. The company's head of corporate affairs and strategy said that after resettling the squatters, they will advertise the sale of the non-registered plots to the general public.
The title deeds, I think some of them are already out in the name of Portland. Kwa hivyo, wacha sasa title yako iache kukaa na Portland. Kwa sababu sasa Portland haina title moja ya hii shamba yote. Iko na all the small little parcels. Kwa hivyo wewe kujia yako sasa. Kujia yako, it is ready. The moment you finalize your process, tumesema kuna deposit, and then let the relationship be between you and Portland. Hawa machairmen wamefanya kazi yao.
The negotiations zimefika mwisho. Tafadhali, kama uko na plot ya 50 by 100, sasa hautalipa Musembi ama Makau. You are going to pay to Portland. How do you become known to Portland? We said you must put that 100,000 to identify who you are.
Na uko jina yako pale. Story nyingine inaendanga pole pole. Mahali nimetoka tunasema ngamia kwanza inaingia kichwa kidogo. Hiyo story nyingine ni story.
Now, residents of Mkuru Konjenga slums in Nairobi have called on the government to resolve the prolonged land ownership dispute and help them acquire titles for the land. They say lack of titles has subjected them to untold suffering occasioned by frequent evictions and demolition of their houses.
Gemwomba Mheshimiwa Rais, safari ama ile tunaweza fanya wananchi visitation ya kwanza ikuwe ni hapa Mukuru kwa Jenga, aje tukuwe na kiketi na yeye tuongelee mambo ya hili shamba letu, ndio tutafute suluhisho, tusiishi kuhangaishwa tena.
Huko watu wanateseka, wamama wanalala kwa tent, mvua inanyesha, sasa hii weather ni mbaya kila mahali. Watu ni wagonjwa kwa tent huko chini. Kila mtu anataka hiyo hope, at least leta hiyo hope, mtu feel like kuna hiyo hope ya kijiji kurudi.
From Nairobi to the county of Kilifi, the region's Governor Gideon Mungaro says his administration will address shortcomings at public medical facilities in the region to ensure efficient service delivery to residents. Mungaro made an impromptu visit to Malindi Sub-County Hospital and came face-to-face with inadequacies such as lack of equipment and medicine that lead to patients being referred to hospitals in other regions.
The issue of patients sharing beds in public hospitals in Kilifi County is greatly contributing to the ailing of the health sector in the region.
The referral kutoka Marekani milango ni governor wetu pia tuangalie pale Marekani, maana kutoka Marekani mpaka hapa tumefuata mambo ya dialysis. Hiyo ni kitu yenye pia kule tulisaidia. Kule tumekaa 1 week, ikabidi sisi turifadi huko. Tunaona hiyo ni gharama nyingine.
Esther Kazo and Mwende Katana say the situation is dire.
Kwa ajili vitanda ni watu wawili. Lakini tukapata mshahara siku tusaidia pengine hizo kwa mtu mmoja. Vitanda pengine ni vidogo na vitanda ni havifiki, ni vidogo hivyo vitanda. Sisi tunaomba serikali iongeze hivyo vitanda.
Ndio tuko wagonjwa ni wawili. Shida hiyo ndio inatupatia shida kwa sababu mmoja pengine hata huyu mwenzangu siku ameanguka kwa sababu hawezi kujigeuza. Kwa hiyo tunaomba kama inawezekana mtusaidie.
Malindi Sub-County Medical Superintendent Job Gayo acknowledges the facility cannot cater to the needs of inpatients.
Kuna hitaji ya kuongeza vitanda na wodi pia ziongezeke. Zaidi pia tuko na upungufu kidogo kwa upande wa staff. Tunaomba jambo hilo pia liangaliwe. Swala la wagonjwa kukaa kwa vitanda viwili sio kwamba ni jambo ambalo tunapendelea liwe hivyo, ila ni kwamba hatuwezi kumregesha mgonjwa nyumbani na anahitaji la kulazwa hospitali. Sasa kitu ambacho kinafanyika ni kwamba ikibidi basi hata kama ni vovote vile inabidi wakae wawili kwa vitanda. Suluhisho ni kuongeza mawodi ili kila mmoja apate kitanda chake.
Kilifi County Governor made an impromptu visit to the hospital and pledged sweeping reforms.
Mambo ya CT scan, mambo ya vifaa vidogo ambavyo vinahitajika, mambo ya ICU. Hii hospitali mnajua ni ya zamani sana. Na congestion kwamba vitanda watu wanalala wawili. So nyinyi mtupatie muda kama tulivyoahidi. Na furi niliahidi kwamba baada ya siku 100 kila hospitali itakuwa na dawa. Na mmeona Malindi tulilipa pesa kwa KEMSA kama wiki iliyopita na dawa zimeanza kuja hapa, zitaenda mashinani. Kama tulivyoahidi baada ya siku 100 za kwanza kila hospitali itakuwa na dawa.
Kilifi County Referral Hospital and the Mariakani Sub-County Hospitals are other medical facilities where patients are struggling to access services. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Elvis Otieno.
And Kilifi County Referral Hospital has conducted a successful spinal surgery on a 25-year-old who had been bedridden for a year and a half. Hamisi Mwanahani, a resident of Golini Village, Kwale County, is one of the many residents that have been forced to seek specialized spinal treatment outside Kwale due to lack of an orthopedic spine specialist surgeon.
Hamisi Morahani was all smiles after a successful spinal surgery, despite the fact that he will be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. He remains positive about his future. The second born in a family of 3 says he had been bedridden for a year and a half as his family could not afford to pay for the operation.
Sasa ilikuwa imechukua muda akasuggest mambo na chuma ikawa ni $100,000, lakini sasa ikawa kuna pesa, kabidi mambo na kurudi tena nyumbani. Familia ilizunguka sana kwa magavana, ma MCA wale walikuwa uongozini wakati ule, lakini walishindwa kutoa msaada.
The 25-year-old finally underwent surgery after the Kwale County Woman Representative Fatuma Masito intervened.
Juzi nikamleta hospitali hapa Kilifi, akafanyiwa upasuaji na Dr. Mustafa, ndio daktari wake, akamfanyia upasuaji wa mgongo na madaktari wanasema ilifaulu operation, na kwa sasa hivi kama tunavyomuona mgonjwa yuko pale kwenye kitanda na anaendelea vizuri.
Morahani injured his spine in a boda accident in April last year. He says upon further consultation at different hospitals in Mombasa and Kilifi, it was agreed surgery was the best option.
Lakini Dr. Mustafa alivoniona akanambia venye upanini accident ilikuwa ya muda mrefu, itabidi chuma. Kwa sababu alisema kama ingekuwa ni 15 to 10 days ingefanyika tu bila shida.
Kwa saizi anaendelea vizuri, ambayo amewekewa makataa ya siku 2 ambapo anaweza baada ya siku 2 tunaweza kumkalisha kwa kiti ambacho mheshimiwa amemletea. Natumai kiti hiki kitamsaidia kwa shughuli zake za kila siku ili kukaa kumpatia mobility.
The 25-year-old is a trained plumber and electrician and is ready to take up any job to continue fending for himself and his family.
Mimi kuendeleza kimaisha, chochote chenye nitapata ni mfano mtu akinishika mkono akiniambia fanya hiki, fanya hivi, mimi nitafanya. Kwa sababu siwezi chagua kazi.
Kwale County Woman Representative Fatuma Masito called for concerted effort among leaders in Kwale County to improve health standards in the area.
So lazima tupeleke policy, na mimi niko tayari kuleta mswada au policy ya kuweza kukab zile jamii maskini wawezeshwe kimatibabu, iwe akifika anaweza kupata picha, anaweza kufanyiwa matibabu ya hali ya juu ambayo mtu mwingine angekuwa amekwenda hospitali kama Aga Khan angekuwa amefanyiwa.
Beatrice Gatonyangetich, Lunchtime News.
Homa Bay Referral Hospital has received a drugs boost worth 60 million shillings projected to benefit all sub-county hospitals. The drugs availed by the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency, KEMSA, are expected to improve services at the Homa Bay Referral Hospital, which has been on its knees for lack of drugs and constant strikes of staff. Presiding over the disbursement of the consignment, Homa Bay County Governor Gladys Wanga stated that health is a priority in Homa Bay County following worrying indicators of various diseases, especially among children.
Next week, we will continue to receive commodities, farms and non-farms for our dispensaries and our health centers. So this is not for today only, and this is not for publicity, and this is not for politics. It's behind us. This is to tell the people of Homa Bay that we are serious about their health care. So like for example now, since we took over, those of our patients who have been needing dialysis, now if you come to the renal unit at any time, you should be able to be dialyzed according to the schedule.
Southeastern Kenya University has set aside 350 million shillings for construction of the Mwingi campus in Kanzoka area, Kivu Ward, Kitui County. Vice Chancellor Professor Geoffrey Munga, who held a consultative meeting with Mwingi professionals led by their chair, Titus Kiva, said the project will take 2 years. In 2016, the Mwingi professionals donated 15 acres of land in Kanzoka area for the construction of the institution. However, the project stalled before construction of the gate was completed. Professor Munga assured stakeholders the campus will be built to standards and will be a game changer in higher education in the region.
And he has also, during his inauguration, he made a commitment that he will see the project through. And we agreed with the team, we'll work together with the university, the county government of Kitui, and the national government to ensure that the campus is developed to the standards which are approved by the Commission for University Education so that it can meet the accreditation standards.
Pale katika kukua kwa chuo hicho ama hiyo campus kutakuwa na mambo mengi ya kazi za wale wako katika neighborhood. Kutakuwa na businesses that develop around campus, mambo ya kusupport kazi ya kusomesha maisha ya watoto wale wanasoma, na itaongeza uchumi wa hiyo area kwa kiasi kubwa sana.
MP wa Kitui Central ambaye anakaa kwa kamati ya budget katika National Assembly, na akakubali ya kwamba pia kupitia kule atasukuma ili tuweze pata kitu ya kuanza hiyo university huko.
Thank you for staying with us. This is KBC. Continue interacting with us on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. We are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Differently. I didn't know when diabetes started creeping in on me until I lost my sight. That's when I was diagnosed with diabetes, and it was established that mine was disability as a result of diabetes, not glaucoma.
I worked diligently, hoping that my bosses, that is John Mombi and Ongarime, would consider me working here, because this, even getting here, I feel it as an achievement.
We're differently abled, differently.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tutakuza strawberries na tujifunze mbinu mpya kupanda mimea kwenye kijisehemu kidogo.
Tumemaliza. Sasa tuko kwa the second level, na the difference now ni 3 inches. So it sasa the first terrace tumetengeneza, na terrace huwa ni 3 inches, na hapo ndio sasa tutapandia mimea baada ya kufanya installation.
Ungana nasi Jumapili saa 9:30 hapa KBC Channel 1.
There's a new game in town. It's a game like no other. It's captivating. It's fun. Entertaining and refreshing.
Which year was the film released?
Correct answer.
out on the Second Chance television game show, premiering on Channel 1.
Thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. Makueni Governor Mtula Kilonzo Jr. has affirmed his commitment to improve leadership and economic development in the county through inclusive, transparent, mwananchi responsive and corruption-free administration. Speaking at Nzeveni Primary School in Boni during the funeral service of the late Dennis Kitui Makau, Kilonzo noted the community leadership needed a political strategy rethink moving into the future. The governor also directed the release of Probox vehicles impounded in the county, pledging to ensure the operators adhere to the set transport laws.
Committees of development must include the church. Kwa sababu ni kwa nini tuna miradi ya Makueni ambayo haijafanywa na pesa imelipwa. Boda zote ziliachiliwa bila kesi. Lakini mimi kwa sababu mimi ni mtiifu, nimesema tafadhali wachilia Probox za watu wa Kikema. Kama kuna kesi, mimi ndio nitafanya. Na watu wa Probox ni wa nyonge. Tafadhali wachilia hawa wanaume. Alafu uniulize mimi.
The Queen's coffin has been driven to Edinburgh in Scotland and is set to be placed in the throne room of the Palace of Holyrood House. The cottage left Balmoral and is set to travel through northeast Scotland with 3 main stops for dignitaries and the public to pay their respects.
The journey, which is 175 miles, is set to take 6 hours through locations that Queen Elizabeth II had a deep connection with, or that was symbolic of her life of service during which she helped to shape modern Scotland. After leaving Crathy Kirk, the church where the royal family have worshipped since Queen Victoria in 1848, the cottage with the coffin will be driven along the A93 towards Aberdeen before turning south and crossing King George VI Bridge, named after her father. The city was the focus of many trips by the Queen. It was where she opened up a children's hospital in 2005 and hosted a special sitting of the Scottish Parliament in 2002. After driving through Dundas North, where the public can stand along the Kingsway Road to pay their respects, the cottage will travel to Edinburgh. The coffin will then depart to the cathedral at 14 hours British summertime to be flown back from Edinburgh to London, ready for the lying in state. According to Buckingham Palace, Princess Anne will accompany the Queen's body. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Esther Bodo.
Thank you for staying with us. Now let's get to the field. It's time for Channel 1 Sports News. World number 1 Iga Swiatek capped a dominant season by beating Tunisian 5th seed Ons Jabeur at the US Open to win her second major title of 2022. The 21-year-old Polish won in sets of 6-2, 7-6 to secure the season's final Grand Slam trophy on the New York hard courts. After a one-sided first set, 28-year-old Jabeur settled midway through the second, but it was not enough to stop Swiatek from clinching a third major title. Swiatek's previous 2 wins both came on the clay at the French Open, and she remains the world number 1, with Jabeur moving up to a joint career high ranking of 2nd after reaching the final.
Far and away the world's number 1.
The first edition of the Mr. and Miss Africa Natural Bodybuilding Contest is scheduled to take place on 8th October in Eldoret. Participants were taken through some basics in a seminar held at the Fitness Mania Gym in Nairobi. Former African champion Evelyn Owala, one of the bodybuilders who will be taking part in the Eldoret event, stressed the need for proper facilitation. The Mr. and Miss African Natural Bodybuilding contest is scheduled to take place on the 8th of next month in Eldoret and has attracted more than 600 top bodybuilders from the East Africa region.
Make new mistakes, learn from what I have made, mistakes I've made, and make new mistakes so that you're able to accelerate your success and faster. I didn't start working out to compete, I'll be honest. But I have loved competing and I do it a lot. And this year, for example, I have done, like, when I go for my championship tomorrow, I will be doing my 6th championship this year and international championships, which means I'm a natural athlete and everything I acquire is through just training, good nutrition, and proper supplementation depending on what I know I'm able to take and what I'm aware of.
All the top 6 finalists in all categories are going home with prize money and gift hampers.
We can see maybe there is potential in you and maybe we can come up with a way of maybe improving you. You never know.
We have come to the end of Channel 1 Lunchtime News on this 11th day in the month of September 2022. Thank you for your company. Also on our social media platforms, quick acknowledgements. Musa Akali, you're saying tuko nyumbani tumefika. Gabriel Wanyama, you're saying you're tuned in to KBC Channel 1 from the county of Nairobi. The list could go on and on. Time is not on our side. But all in all, thank you so much for your feedback as well as your company. My name is Irene Muchumal. On sign language interpretation, we have Lanza Odingo. For more details on Just Add News and many more, do log on to www.kbc.co.ke. Good afternoon.
Wiki hii kwenye mkulima tutakuza strawberries na tujifunze mbinu mpya kupanda mimea kwenye kijisehemu kidogo.
Tumemaliza. Sasa tuko kwa the second level na the difference now ni 3 inches. So hii ndio sasa the first terrace tumetengeneza na terrace huwa ni 3 inches. Na hapo ndio sasa tutapandia mimea baada ya kufanya installation.
Ungana nasi Jumapili saa 9:30 hapa KBC Channel 1.
Hello there. Good boys gone bad. Eric Omondi has evolved from being a comedian to now being the king of clout chasing.
How does a gospel artist make money? Jaguar wet again.
Anaweza kuwa celeb, anaweza kuwa na followers, but it's a time for artists to make bank.
Yes. How is your relationship with Zari, considering that she dates young?
These are accessories.
They do not make... Slap the guy.
Yo, what's up? My name is Ted Josiah.
Much
I'm watching Pop Culture with Adhiambo with a Y.
are here and we are strong. Let's be counted as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful. We are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
Hello there, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Able Differently. My name is Jen Theuri, and today we feature two gentlemen who didn't let their disability stand in their way of their growth. Let's get started.
Abled differently.
From doing one thing in the day to complete loss of vision the next day. This is the story of Geoffrey and how he had to make sudden adjustments to match his new journey. Take a look at his story.
Geoffrey Munga Ngugi, born in Murang'a, attended Kagumo High School, then later proceeded to the University of Nairobi, where he pursued a degree in history and government with a minor in literature, after which he did his master's in international relations and graduated in 1995.
I was just born just like another ordinary boy in central Kenya. Those days, when the emergency was ending. So me, I did not witness the emergency, but its consequences. I grew up in Genembe, went to Kahubu Primary School. I did my CP in 1974. I was admitted at Kianyaga High School, which I did not attend. I did not go to Kianyaga because of financial constraints in the family. So I attended Harambe School, known as Kairi Secondary School, where I did my KGSE in 1976 and O-level in 1978. I passed and proceeded to Kagumo High School for A-level. I did my A-level in 1980 and I proceeded to the University of Nairobi.
He started working as a district officer, where he served in Nyanza, Rift Valley and Ogembo in 1998 and came back to the central government in Nairobi in the same year up to date.
I was posted out as a district officer, served in Nyanza, in Rift Valley and Nyanza. And my last station as a district officer was in Ogembo in present-day KC County. In 1998, when I came back to the central government in Nairobi, and have been there since 1998.
Geoffrey says he was first diagnosed with diabetes, which came in with more illnesses, weakened his eyesight, and eventually woke up one morning and could not see anything on November 5th, 2013.
It was as a result of sickness. I didn't know when diabetes started creeping in on me until I lost my sight. That's when I was diagnosed with diabetes, and it was established that mine was disability as a result of diabetes, not glaucoma. In the process of being and becoming, and I found myself